Welcome back to Miss English, the podcast that teaches you real, natural English for everyday life. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Alex. Today we are talking about one of the most universal topics in the world, parents. Whether you have a close relationship with yours or a complicated one, this topic comes up in English conversation all the time.
Our parents shape who we are. They raise us, teach us values, and, whether we like to admit it or not, we often end up just like them.
By the end of this episode, you will know how to talk about your parents and family, describe different parenting styles, use natural phrases about upbringing and family life, and understand some common English expressions.
This is such a rich topic with so much vocabulary to learn. Let's dive in.
Sarah, what is your relationship with your parents like? Are you close to them?
Very close. My mom is my best friend, honestly. She is so nurturing, always warm, caring, and supportive. I can tell her anything.
That is lovely. My dad is my role model. He worked incredibly hard to give our family a good life, and I really look up to him. I want to make him proud.
That is beautiful. It is so common to say you look up to your parents. It means you admire and respect them. And of course, we often say we want to make our parents proud, to do something that makes them feel happy and satisfied about us.
Absolutely. Parents make so many sacrifices for their children, they give up time, money, and sometimes their own dreams to provide a better life. It is important to appreciate that.
Yes. And of course, the love parents have for their children is often described as unconditional. It does not depend on behavior or achievement. It is there no matter what.
Though that does not mean parents do not get frustrated sometimes. Every family has its moments of tension, especially between parents and teenagers.
Oh, absolutely. That brings us to the generation gap, the difference in attitudes, values, and experiences between parents and their children. It can cause misunderstandings, but it is completely normal. Now let us focus on some really important vocabulary for talking about parents and parenting. These words will help you in so many conversations.
First, discipline. This refers to the way parents teach children rules and correct their behavior. For example, her parents had strict discipline, no screens during the week. Discipline is not just about punishment, it is about teaching right from wrong.
Some parents are strict, they have many rules and high expectations. For example, my parents were very strict about homework. It had to be done before dinner every night, without exception.
On the other end of the scale, some parents are lenient, they are more relaxed and flexible with rules. A lenient parent might allow more freedom and be less likely to give punishment.
Another useful word is overprotective, describing a parent who worries too much and does not give their child enough independence. For example, my mom was overprotective when I was a teenager. She called me 5 times a day.
A curfew is a time that parents set for when their child must be home. For example, my curfew was 10 o'clock on weekends. I always had to be back before 10.
And we sometimes describe teenagers as rebellious, going against rules and authority, wanting to do things their own way. For example, I was quite rebellious at 16. I thought I knew everything.
Finally, the parent-child bond is the deep emotional connection between a parent and child. It is one of the strongest relationships in human life. For example, the bond between a mother and child begins even before the child is born.
Now let us look at some real English phrases you would use when talking about your parents. These come up all the time in everyday conversation.
A very common phrase is, I take after my mom or I take after my dad. This means you are similar to that parent in some way, either in looks or personality. For example, I take after my dad, we are both quiet and very patient.
Another very useful phrase is, I was brought up to. This means your parents taught you to behave in a certain way. For example, I was brought up to respect my elders. Or, I was brought up to always say thank you.
If you want to say that your parents had high expectations of you, you might say, there was a lot of pressure to do well. Or, I always felt like I had to live up to their expectations.
When parents argue with their teenagers, often about small things like tidying rooms or screen time, we say they nag. For example, my mom always nagged me about doing the washing up. To nag means to keep reminding or criticizing someone repeatedly.
You might also hear the phrase, tough love. This describes the approach of being firm and strict with children, not always giving them what they want because it is better for them in the long run. For example, my dad believed in tough love. He never let me give up when things were hard.
And when children grow up and leave home, parents sometimes experience empty nest syndrome, a feeling of sadness or loneliness when their children move out. For example, after all three of us left for university, my mom really struggled with empty nest syndrome.
Let us talk about parenting styles. This is a fascinating topic and a great conversation starter in English.
One well-known parenting style is called helicopter parenting. A helicopter parent hovers over their child, always watching, always involved, and tries to protect them from every difficulty or disappointment.
The term comes from the image of a helicopter hovering overhead. Helicopter parents might call their child's teacher on their behalf, sort out their problems for them, or never let them face any challenge alone. It comes from a good place, but it can make children less independent.
On the other extreme, some people have parents who were very hands-off. They gave their children a lot of freedom and did not get too involved in their daily lives. This can teach children to be self-reliant, but they might sometimes feel unsupported.
Most parents, of course, fall somewhere in between. Being a supportive parent means being there for your child emotionally and practically, without taking over their lives. For example, my parents were supportive, but they always encouraged me to solve my own problems.
Whatever parenting style they use, most parents share the same goal: to raise children who are happy, kind, and confident. And most of us, as we get older, begin to appreciate everything our parents did for us. We become more grateful.
It is also worth noting that parenting has changed a lot across generations. Our grandparents often raised children very differently from how parents raise children today. The expectations, methods, and even the language we use have all changed.
And for English learners, being able to talk about your own parents and your upbringing is a wonderful way to connect with people in English. It is personal, emotional, and something everyone can relate to.
What a heartfelt episode! Let us recap all the vocabulary we covered today about parents.
We started by talking about our relationships with our parents, values, upbringing, nurturing, role model, look up to, unconditional love, and generation gap.
Then in our vocabulary focus, discipline, strict, lenient, overprotective, curfew, rebellious, and bond.
We practiced real family conversation phrases: take after, live up to, nag, tough love, and empty nest.
And we explored parenting styles: independent, supportive, and grateful.
Next time you talk about your family in English, try to use some of these words and phrases. Talking about parents is a beautiful way to connect with people, in any language. Practice makes perfect.
Every word you learn brings you closer to true fluency. Keep going, you are doing an amazing job.
Thank you so much for watching episode 18 of Miss English. You are part of our Miss English family, and we could not be more proud of you.
If this episode helped you, please subscribe and share it with a friend who is learning English. The more the merrier.
New episodes every day. Until next time, keep learning, keep speaking, and keep growing.
Bye for now, everyone. See you in the next episode of Miss English.